You know, I just cannot leave this notion behind that Starfield is a 100% AI generated game. Like the scripts, the graphics, everything. So that got me thinking, exactly what data sets does this AI have access to? It's obviously got access to the internet, it's obviously got access to all the previous games, all the sci-fi movies and novels, everything really, but what would the X factor be? If I was designing this AI, I'd give it an X factor, I'd give it data it didn't necessarily need, but that it could use to make something better. And that compares well with other people's reviews. A lot of people say that Starfield is a jack of all trades, it doesn't do everything, but it does most things, and the things it does to an average level. So it does everything, but it doesn't do anything to a master level. However, this is the first version, this is the first iteration, so it's probably just bare bones on purpose to get all the systems and the procedures working, and just to test the waters with the market. Is it worth bringing this game out? Do people just hate it? And then we won't spend any more time on it. But it's been taken up well, it's done really well. It's sold 10.7 million copies, it's been the most popular Game Pass game, so I think they will continue with it. So, going back to the AI, if you're asking me, I think the X factor they're going to give it is it can read people's reviews. Now if you think about it, an AI can easily download the transcript from any YouTube video, so it doesn't need to watch the video, it can just read the words and then put that as a dataset back into the developer for the game. And you might be thinking, well, what does it care about how reviewers feel about the game? That's not the reason it's using the data. What it's using that review data for is to find errors and bugs and things that can be deleted to free up space. A couple of other reviewers have actually said there's so much stuff in this game that should be optimised but isn't. All the characters are completely unrelatable, you know, the dialogue's clunky and doesn't really get you emotionally involved in it. If you think about it, that's because the AI didn't have enough data on how to make game players feel to actually create that effect. But it got the characters, it got the story, it was so close. And people still like it, there's still a big debate whether this is a masterpiece or not, you know. I mean, there's guys out there that have put 2,000 hours into this game already. 2,000 hours! That's more than I've put into my favourite game in the last 5 years. And that's fantastic if you're the AI, because those 2,000 hours are 2,000 hours of data for you to reuse improving this game. And if you really think about it, right, how many loading screens are in this game? If you're the AI and you're testing your code, you're not testing the loading screens at all. So, as far as you're concerned, there are loading screens, but they're minimal. They don't impact the game. But now that it's watched all the reviews, it's gonna know, oh, loading screens are a problem, so go back into code, try to cut down on loading screens, or seamlessly integrate them, which is what a lot of the reviewers even said. So the AI doesn't need to be particularly intelligent to pull that out, it just needs to do a poll. How many reviewers agree with this? All of them. Okay, we'll do that. And it's the same with the characters and what they say, the dialogue, everything, the gameplay, the music, the sound design, everything really. So you can fully expect that Starfield, not Starfield 2, this is going to stay as Starfield as far as I'm concerned. Starfield is going to get iteratively better. Fairly quickly, I would imagine. Maybe every 6 months they'll do a provisional update, and within that update will be the results of the AI data mining exercise. And I'd imagine that one of the first things they want to do is get rid of those loading screens and get rid of those invisible walls. It can't be that difficult to make these areas seamless if No Man's Sky were doing it in 2016. And they weren't using a super expensive Microsoft-backed AI product. It was a small team led by one guy, Sean Murray. Look what they accomplished. Now compare the tiny amount of resources they had to the huge behemoth of Microsoft with Bethesda. And then you start to see the vision for this game. This is going to be a huge undertaking for Bethesda. Not for Microsoft, this is small change for Microsoft. They could do 1 million of these and not even notice a small change missing. But for Bethesda, this is going to be a company-defining game. This is why they've let go of all their developers, ladies, gents and Pikachus. Todd Howard is just going to be he'll be the sole human developer, and he'll just be using these AI products. He might even have 6 or 7, like a department for each AI, graphics, sound, gameplay, asset development, and he just manages all those AIs with a voice command. Think about it, so much cheaper and easier, and we can even see here the results are good. Like most people don't realise, everyone I've spoke to thinks this game was made by humans. And they write down all the flaws, and they write off all the complaints about it as like human error. But I can tell you, none of this game made me relate to it in any human way. I did have a few moments where I thought, oh, that's cool, but it wasn't the game that was generating that, it was me. One of my memories was triggered. And stuff like this, drug smuggling is not profitable. A human being would know. A lot of people are going to want that in their game because it was in previous games, in all the Fallout games, even 76 had it. So, yeah, the no refunds joke. Well, they don't want to refund you the game because they think in time you will like it. And they're probably right, as bad as that is. So, in conclusion, ladies, gents, and Pikachus, do we think Starfield is worth persisting with? Do we think that Starfield is worth putting more time and more effort into and having more expectations, considering how flat we felt after our initial expectations were flawed? Well, I think the answer to that is a resounding yes. If Microsoft are backing Bethesda fully, and Bethesda are fully behind this as their only real project apart from rehashes of previous games, Elder Scrolls 6 and this kind of thing, if I'm right about this and Starfield AI is going to be the sole thing that Bethesda do in future, and then they're going to do a sequel, or they might have a split-off game in the same universe, but it will all be written by this AI, and he's probably hoping that after enough data has been collected, he can make the perfect game for the people who have paid money in the past. So it's actually extremely clever of him, extremely foresightful of Microsoft to acquire Bethesda before the Chinese did. I think ByteDance were looking at them. And it's going to work out well for us gamers, provided we don't kneecap this product. And what I mean by that is, if mod support is released, mods will start coming out which are, that pull the game in a different direction, and that could be a problem for Bethesda. So I can see why they announced they were going to have a creation kit, but they've been very slow to get it out. And it's because it's a temporary fix. They don't want mod support, they want Starfield AI to completely run and generate and control this game so they can put the feet up. So that's it for today, ladies, gents, Pikachus. Hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye now. Bye.